honestly, the thing I'm most impressed with is the way these guys have folded into our culture. Like, I just love them. Like, and honestly, it's like, yeah, I swear I get chills when I say it, but like there's something about that culture that is so genuine, so caring. They love us. Our experience has been great, and I divide. This is just the way I look at it. I'm watching your way, and I'm going to give you the credit, right? This starts with you, and that's your philosophy, your mentality, your business system. I'm watching that, and I'm really impressed with that.
Okay,
So
cool.
part of me is like, what are they doing over there? And some of the things you're doing, I just think are great business models, and I'm watching that. Okay,
That's
so
cool, man.
that's
Thank
half, right? That's half of
you. Okay.
it's maybe less than half, and then the other side is, okay, what did you promise? How is it being delivered? Is it working? And what's our part in that?
Yeah.
So that's, that's the second part. And the the process was great. The just the effort that you guys put in to try to really find a good match. um I definitely had to adjust my mind to, how fast we have to make a decision and how things move,
Yeah.
and the people come and they go quickly, and so that's different than the traditional hiring and interviewing model.
Yeah.
So, we had to adjust with that. We have two people, that we really, I think we brought on within a week of each other.
Cool.
They're in two different parts of our business. One is on the sales side, one is on the support side. So we got to see kind of both of those um, mentalities, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, the thing I'm most impressed with is the way these guys have folded into our culture. Like, I just love them. Like, and honestly, it's like, yeah, I swear I get chills when I say it, but like there's something about that culture that is so genuine, so caring. They love us and they do not want to let us down. And it's just, and I will say, like, when I interviewed both groups in the beginning just because I wanted that feel. And I'm
Sure.
really good at reading people. I'm really, at least I think I am. And I wanted to be the first one to say, no, this out, no, no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's my background. And I interviewed them and I said, wow, any one of those three could do what we need to get done. And the personalities were similar, and I don't know. And so I just like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and we picked, these folks, and they've been great. They have folded into our culture. They are, we're a completely remote company, and so we folded them in. They're sharing pictures of their kids, like they are just part of us, and it's only
Yeah.
been a few months.
Yeah.
I just honestly, I'm blown away. And I will say, like, our adjustment was, it just, you have to be a little more patient with what it takes for them to like get it and get the traction. And
Hmm.
I think this is a cultural thing. Like, they're so careful. They do not want to make mistakes. They do not want to let us down. They really want to impress. Like, they were studying our everything, the weekend before they started.
Yeah.
Anything we give them, they just digest, and they just study, and they just get into it, and they really want to be perfect employees.
Yeah.
And it just takes longer to get them confident and comfortable with your way, and knowing that if they make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. And
Right.
some of that guidance came. I came to your webinar, and you shared some of those tips, and
Yeah.
it's all true. um it's it's been great, and they have been amazing. They have been
That's cool.
amazing, and they do good work, and then there's the tangible things. But the team loves them. The team has taken them under their wings, and they're just they're just going for it. And honestly, I'm just sitting back and saying, okay, where else can I leverage this and get this help?
Yeah, totally. Well, it's a good question. Because when we first talked, I was like, oh my goodness, these are our ideal clients. You're the ideal kind of company. Now knowing our people and our process and what we do, go back in time, what would you tell your old self about MyOutDesk? And then step two of that will be, okay, what do we build together in the future?
Yeah, good question. I think when we came into this, I thought, I need to get to know MyOutDesk so that I can properly recommend them to an agent that wants to hire a full-time help. And that's where I went into this. And what I've learned, and it's actually, I don't want to say it's a new project, but I pivoted on a project I was working on. Where I've landed is, agents are deathly afraid to hire anyone. They're usually not very experienced with that.
Right.
Oftentimes they're looking for one person to do 3 different types of jobs, and it's, as we know, those personalities, right? You want to drive the bus, you want to be the mechanic, what are all the things you want to do, and it's very difficult. So to get the right hit, I think is a challenge. It will be a challenge for most.
Yep.
And kind of, so where I've landed is, I'm going to build, and I'm going to just call it, I don't know, I don't have a name for it, but I'm going to build the marketing agency for real estate agents and lenders.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a full team of MOD agents behind an account manager.
Yep.
And we're going to just do these marketing things for you. And whether that's social media, we're going to just take the marketing stuff and we're just going to get it done. And it's going to be affordable. They'll be trained, they'll be hired, like all that pain goes away.
Sure.
And that's really where I've landed. And there's a place, like a bigger company, like, oh, and I'm happy to refer, I think it's great. I'll refer them.
Yeah.
But I'm, and it's a little bit selfish. Like, my goal is, how do we help our 2,000 agents and lenders? How do we help them get their stuff done and leverage them so they can go out and sell real estate? And this is the best way I see is to just take 20 things off their list and get it done for them.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, so now we should talk about integration, and we should talk about what that looks like, and building a team, and what's your time frame and all that. I think that's interesting.
And I don't want to step on you guys, because I know that a lot of your businesses are agents, right? And there's a lot of, help that you're doing in that area. I'm looking at, launching this September 1st, and actually having a waiting list of, 25 agents that are ready to go.
Yep.
I'm going to bring on, my idea is, one account manager will manage 50 members who choose this service. And then they're going to probably have, 1.5 to 2 MOD folks behind them, supporting them. Is kind of just the way I've worked out the math based on what I think we're going to be doing. Initially, like, it's going to be a little more of a jack of all trades. Like, hey, you're posting social media stuff every day for these people. Oh, and you're doing these other things and these things and these things.
Yeah.
And then as we grow, it's like, okay, now, Johnny, all you do is post social media, and Mary, all you do is this, so we can get a little better. The first hire, I feel, is the most important, because someone's going to have to help manage the MOD team, right? As as we grow it, my goal is to be, I want to have 300 agents using this service, within the next year. So,
I love
it. 1.5, 1.75 MOD folks for every 50. So I'm thinking, is it 10? Is it 10 or 12 MOD agents?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had a lot figuring out. We have technology we're figuring out. We have a lot to figure out, but we're just gonna, our style is we just jump in. I've got some great agents that I can say, hey, I need some volunteers, and they'll come in and we'll just get it going. And we're almost going to be like a marketing agency for real estate agents, and we have all that expertise. We have the writers, the designers, we have all that power, that horsepower behind us.
Sure.
So I'm excited about it.
I think you've nailed an opportunity in the market, because our challenge has always been, we're not designed for that solo agent who needs everything, like you said. Like, and I just talked to one of your people who was
I heard.
not happy.
I heard.
And
she referred us to you.
I know. And I love her, and I try so hard to set expectations, and like it's really tough when you can't lead somebody through that funnel. But she really does need somebody like you who knows what they're doing to hold her hand through that process.
Yeah.
And she has a big learning curve around what is required in order to, build out a program.
Yeah.
And we just can't win when they say, I want a sales caller, a marketing person, an admin, a TC.
Transact, right? Exactly. I know. She was explaining this, and I just drew 3 lines. Like, those are 3 different people. There's no doubt those are 3 different people.
Well, I wonder if she heard you. She did not hear me. In fact,
well, I talked to her after you, because she asked me how our experience was going.
Yeah.
And I said, let's get on a call. I knew she wanted to talk. I said, let's get on a call and talk. And, and I think I will say, between you and I think you handled it as well as you possibly could. It didn't end up being a good fit. And after, right, it didn't work, and you did your best. And I told her, I said, well, what if we could just take a third of this? Because that's really what it ends up being. What if I handled a third of this for you? And then you got to figure out your TC and you want an executive assistant. Like, we ain't going to be that. So, and she was like, oh yeah, I mean, I don't have to hire him. I don't have to train him. Sign me up for that. She didn't even ask how much. Yes. Like, easy button.
She doesn't know how. It's because she doesn't know how. And that's the gap that you'd feel. Some advice, I'd be very defined around what your product offering is.
Yeah.
Like, we do this and we do that and we do this, and then nothing else. You guys have software, right? Like, is part of
we have a CRM that we offer. Kind of what I'm picturing is, are you familiar with Trello?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I'm picturing is, literally, there's this grid of services, and we help you build your marketing plan, right?
Yep.
And in 1 month, it might be that we're working on a campaign together that we put together for you. The next month, maybe we're helping you figure out how to use a calendar system, right? And that's, a lot of these agents, like, they're not doing that, but they should, right? That should be in their technical stack. Like, she's a great example of that. Like, she didn't have any technical stack at all. She says, I don't have anywhere to put my files. Like, and you guys are asking for this. She had nothing. And I said, oh boy, you're starting at less than ground zero.
Well, and the bigger challenge was, she eventually got through our system hiring an admin, and then her first job was to put them on the phones. And I'm like, wait, what?
Right. And I advised her, my advice to her, because she didn't have a technical stack, I said, my advice is that whoever you bring in, like, the first thing they do is they help you learn your technical stack, and they might be able to teach you your technical stack. Like, do they have experience using Slack? Well, they should teach you that. That's their first job. And I said 3 to 6 months might be them building the foundation of your business to where you guys can work together.
What would be interesting is if you had your CRM and this marketing kind of thing linked up somehow, where they could automatically, I don't know what that looks like. I'm not saying anything.
Say more about that, like, automatically
choose options, like, and because if you're
Interesting.
selling time, I would productize what you're offering and and give a lot of make a lot of margin on it. So it takes a
Yeah.
VP, 1 hour at $10. You
Yeah.
want to sell it for 50.
Right.
So the
Right.
account manager and the system,
Yeah.
and then I would start with just one piece and get that,
Right.
make sure you
Right.
got product market fit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And add to those existing
Yeah.
customers. Okay, now we're gonna do this.
Right. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
And
So we
always,
build out their marketing plan, and most of it is our stuff, right? It's this month you're going to do this campaign. By the way, we've already built that.
right.
This month we're going to do this. We build out the plan. The daily we start doing their social media for them, right? That takes away that pain of something they're either not doing or they want to do, like take away that pain. And then we start knocking off these monthly strategies or systems or technology, whatever it is, so that they're getting stuff done every month. And then we're reporting on, hey, you got this done, and we're doing this other, like we're doing all these things for you. Kind of like a marketing assistant, but I want it to be a little higher level. I don't want this person dictating to my person. Like they're not your assistant. Like I want to try to make that clear.
So the challenge, I'm just trying to, I love this. By the way, my favorite thing to do with people is to strategize how to build this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But your biggest challenge is like her database had like nothing in it, like 500 people or something like that. And
Right.
she doesn't have a farm. She doesn't have, she doesn't have any buyer queues, like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not doing I don't know if she's doing a newsletter around stats and rates and home selling and like, those are the
She's probably
things.
doing some of our automated things, and we kind of stay out of. We don't really go down the like, hey, I'm a real estate agent. We kind of go with more of a kitschy, like, I'm your friend, and I'm just sending you this because we're friends. It's kind of our marketing style.
Yeah.
But that's all automated. She doesn't have to do anything. And what I see us doing is, we have a contest that we do every month for them. Like, we're going to post it on social media. We're going to make sure that you're getting engagement. Like all the things that we say, if you do this, you'll get that.
Yeah.
We have to help them do it because they're not doing it. Right. And then we lose, right? They're like, I'm just not getting anything from the system. Like,
well, that's why I mentioned database. Your biggest challenge will be
it is there.
And
that's going to be one of the modules is clean up your database. Let's make sure we can text everybody in your database from your phone. That's part of multi-channel marketing. Like you got to do that. And they're not doing it.
Well, and getting a clean database is one thing, using the database is another, but then and I don't know how you guys could take a database and supercharge it and take a communication process and supercharge that, like content out to those people. Like, because here's what I look at. I'm a real estate guy. You're a real estate guy. I still look at every house that sells in my neighborhood. I still want to know what price appreciation is. I want to know what mortgage rates are. I want to know those things. I'm weird. So, but what
I know we're skewed. We're skewed because what's interests us is for all different reasons.
But I think the average person also wants that information.
I think so too. Especially like if you look right now, what's going on, everyone is interested in what's going on out there and how that fits for them. It's true.
Well, I'm super glad that everything has worked out. I hope they can use this recording. You did great stuff in this.
There's some good stuff.
I just love my VAs. That might be the headline.
They're like family. Honestly, they are like family, and I'll brag, like our culture for our employees, we have 17 employees. Like I'll put it up against anywhere. Like we've got no one leaves unless we ask them to leave. I mean, we just have a great culture, and to be able to fold this in and pick right the first time, it's just, I'm so happy. Happy.
Cool, man. That's so cool. All right. Well, let me know if you ever need to strategize.
Yeah, I appreciate that. As this gets going, I mean, I'm going to have obviously some things to figure out, but I want to put the gas on it for sure.
When you get to 10, we give you one for free. So just so you know, there's a volume discount as you're going up there.
Cool.
And it would be cool to get you guys to 11 because you'd be in a small group of like 30. So we don't have a lot of enterprise clients.
Right. Okay.
Anything you need support around to get to that spot, we're 100% there to help.